Hello, and thank you everyone for joining us here on Global Morning. As always, words will fail us to say thank you, especially knowing that you're starting this working week with us here on the show. As always, I'm Uyi Agbofwegbe, and this is me saying I hope you've made the most of your weekend.
Happy weekend, Uyi. It's good to be here again. And
well,
of course,
my weekend ended on Saturday midnight.
Well, people, I don't know. Why is it that people want to call me if Nigeria is playing match, their games? But then I think they are not totally wrong. But then they should go watch too. And of course, the banter shouldn't come to people like us.
I will all Nigerians.
I will all Nigerians. Just we let the people know how it's happening. But then, fortunately and unfortunately, it is what it is.
It is.
And of course, we are here and we are live again. But the best thing is that we are able to bring you what you need to know this morning to get your day started on a beautiful note, at least to overcome the, should I call it a trauma? I don't know if I should call it a trauma.
Okay, I think I'd like to say first, Rams, it's good to see you. But you see, there's a part of this news about the Super Eagles. Now, since you started on that note, that's very interesting. And it's credited to the manager of the coach himself. Yeah, saying that they use voodoo. I mean, that's what Daily Post is reporting, that these guys use voodoo against
Democratic Republic of Congo.
Right.
But then,
no, he's saying that
what will you do?
Particularly as it has to do with penalty. It was voodoo.
What will you do if somebody is promising you like $100,000? What will you do? I said it the other day. I said this promise. Somebody said, well, it's not about promising them anything, but then the ability to deliver. But they've done it. You know, there is something. Somebody said something. He said, if unknowingly, maybe something happened, there is an incident, and you jump from a two-story building. Maybe something just happened. You didn't know, you didn't prepare for it, and you just jump. But don't be surprised that you may not even sustain injury, or the injury will be minimal than the one that you deliberately just jump for jumping sake.
Right.
You know, when somebody is being promised something, by the time you go into a game and you said, well, this game, we are going to get it, positive. You respect. Nigeria, it could be like Nigerians looked at Democratic Republic of Congo, of course. They looked down on them, but then look at what happened. Penalty. Well, I think I will say more about that during the game. But then we should give it to Eric Chile because you remember where he picked the Super Eagles from
and where they are today.
And where they are today after coaches rejected the offer. You know, this one came, it's not fit, being sent away. This one came, it's not fit, being sent away. This one, and Eric Chile, despite that, he came and he brought them to where they are today. Nobody ever thought Nigeria was even going to get to where they are. They gave us hope playing with Gabon because with the likes of Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, and we still demolished Gabon like that. So I was thinking yesterday was going to be a walkover. But the moment that extra time ended, I knew we are in for something strong. But then, congratulations to the Democratic Republic of Congo. See you guys in Mexico. But then, how far are you guys going to go? But going there alone is it for me.
It's remarkable.
It's Nigeria. How many times have Nigeria even escaped the knockout stage? You know, so going there alone for me.
But they said our chances were bright in 1994. With that squad, looking at the likes of late, if you like, Keshi, who was a world-class striker at the time, and the rest, but then it's like the bar has continued to drop 3 decades down the line.
What do you expect with what is going on in the country? See, number one, as a country, one thing, I don't know, but just permit me to use this word, that sports have a spirit that is backing it. And why do we have fans? Why do you think we have supporters club? There is a connection, heart connection, spirit connection to the game. You know, one person connecting to the other until you get to the last man who is kicking the round leader game. You know, so with this cry, this a lot of things happening, and payment, non-payment, and so many terrorism attack and everything put together. the boys tried. They tried their part, but then you can't compare the 1994 squad to what we have now. They were not as rich as these boys.
Right.
That's the truth.
So you're saying for them, passion came before
Passion
fame.
came before fame for them. Passion came before fame, and they were ready to go any length. You know, but for these boys, it's not like that. Not that they are not putting in their best. That's not what we're saying. But then, I wasn't surprised that Nigeria didn't make it.
So we have to wait another 4-year round.
4-year round.
Well, what more can we say? There's another game going on in Nigeria already. That game started just this last weekend, and today results are coming in, not just in trickles, but we'll say maybe they are pouring. We'll talk about all of that in the course of the show this morning. In fact, that will be the centrality of our conversations on Global Morning today. All of that and more coming after this break. Please stay with us.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest.
And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
Before we bring you motivation this morning, let's talk about something that's not so very motivating. It will appear the biggest story this week came out from Ibadan, the capital of Oyo State, Northwest, and I should say Southwest Nigeria. Of course, we had heard that the PDP elective convention was going to take place in that city, hosted by the only, if you like, one of the two PDP governors. Some people say, well, he's the only one now in principle. All right, in the Southwest, talking about Seyi Makinde hosting this very pivotal event for the PDP a party that once was the ruling party, a party that had even been seen as the viable lead opposition party in Nigeria as it stands today. But all of that appears to be waning really fast, looking at some decisions that have been taken in the course of this elective convention. First of all, we understand a handful of its members, most of them ranking foundational members, were expelled from the party, including the Minister of the FCT, Nyesom Wike, who had also been two-time governor of the state of Rivers. And then add to that, those who are considered or seen as being in his camp were also shunned the way out, including former governor, of course, two-term governor himself, talking about Ayodele Fayose of Ekiti State. And then Samuel Ayao was in that same batch, if you like. Today, the conversation is about whether or not this was a step in the right direction for a party that has also been very troubled internally, plus what the implications are for the People's Democratic Party on the one hand, and more importantly for the opposition front in a country where the leading All Progressives Congress has been very relentless in ensuring that it continues to bring in new faces and new hands into its fold. Ramsey, you also followed this development in the course of the week.
Yes, I don't know, was it a week, should I call it a weekend of fresh air for the People's Democratic Party? I don't know how to target as these, but then I think what Nigerians have been expecting for a very long time finally happened at that convention, and that's the suspension of the FCT minister. A lot of people have said so many things in the past. Some persons, immediately after the 2023 elections, he was accused of doing carrying out anti-party activities. But in his usual press briefing, he had come out to say, well, a lot of people have done it before and nothing happened, that nothing is going to happen. And of course, we were waiting, Nigerians were waiting for what will happen, but nothing happened. Except the hula baloo that was going on, the faction and all of that. And there have been speculations by some Nigerians that, well, there is a monkey that have a hand, in the whole thing from a particular party that I will not want to call right now. He that has sense will know what I'm saying right now, and all of us have senses, so you already know what I'm talking about. But as it is, the people that were suspended, the key officials were suspended. Talking about Wike, talking about Fayose, talking about Anyanwu himself.
Samuel
Anyanwu, I think the general secretary also.
He was the national secretary until now. Of course, that was another very divisive issue within the party. At the point, there was Udo Okoye, who one faction of the party said was the de facto, de jure national secretary and all of that. Of course, Samuel Ayao apparently is in Wike's camp.
It's in Wike's camp.
Right.
So there is no way you suspend Wike without suspending people in his camp. Because it's like suspending someone and he still have players, all right, the coach is away, but then he still have players that still take instructions from him. So that suspension, we're waiting for what will happen. We don't know what is going to happen next. These people, one thing with politics in Nigeria is that there are always people who are loyalists. And why is it like that? Because we have people who are always gullible, who can be taken advantage of. When money is on ground, there are some people can dance blues, they can dance reggae, they will dance R&B, they will dance hip hop, provided money is on ground, irrespective of their age. You see them on the floor. So as it is right now, we are waiting for what will happen. There were a couple of resolutions. Faction dissolved PDP structure in Imo, Abia, Enugu, Akwa Ibom, and Rivers. Then, of course, Tanimu Turaki elected unopposed as national chairman. This is the same person that you remember the issue of getting a form, that almost caused a problem. Right. So we are waiting to see going forward what will happen in the People's Democratic Party? Can we now say the battle is over? Can we now say we are about having an opposition party that will be able to give the ruling party a run for their money? Can we now say the trouble in the People's Democratic is over and there will be a swing into action as it has to do with preparation for the almighty 2027? Can we now say, well, the defection from the People's Democratic Party to the All Progressive Congress is now over because most of the people leaving the party have one singular complaint and reason for leaving, which Nigerians don't even accept, and that's the fracas in the party. Even though Nigerians are saying, well, there is something this administration is telling these governors that are defecting and giving instruction to their subordinates to defect alongside with them. So as it is, we are waiting for what will happen, and we will monitor the progress on global television on most of our programs to see how all of this is going to go. But then I think that convention, a lot of people suspected that there might be an invasion. You know, a lot of people suspected, you know, let it hold, let it not hold, let it hold, was coming with a lot of suspicion. So when it was finally time for it to hold, people were expecting or maybe suspecting something was going to happen, but then it happened peacefully. I remember the security was something else, but then it has happened. The arrival, people even started arriving before time. I called one of a member of the reconciliation committee yesterday. He was supposed to be on our program this morning, and he said, well, he doesn't want to make any statement because what is still going on, some persons are not still satisfied with the situation yet. All right, he said he's not going to, he won't be able to talk to us today, but despite that, I think we'll keep track on how the development will come up, and we'll always bring it to the fore so that Nigerians can know what's happening to the People's Democratic Party that was supposed to be in power for 70 years as it has been a vision of one of their key
Senator Ramsey, it appears the PDP now has more work on its hands than it did before this convention, but then it just means that politics are ever dynamic. Hopefully the leaders of the party will take responsibility and initiative to fix these issues. Let's take a break. When we return, it will be time to look at the papers, but in the meantime, we are bringing you motivation.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest.
And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
Your way to success. Well, success have many brothers, but failure is an orphan. You will never be a failure, and you can never be a failure. My name is Ramsey Enoch, and today we want to look at a very simple stance. What am I going to talk about today? I want to encourage us that we don't have to wait for motivation before we take action. You don't have to wait for motivation before you take action or do the right thing that you need to do. If you must be successful, because you need to act, number one, you need to act very fast based on what you want to achieve, because everyone have what they are built and designed for. We have a lot of people who are jealous of what we have, who we are, where we are, and what we have been wired to do, or what we have been destined to become. It's very clear. So sometimes that you are waiting for motivation. Motivation can come from either of these people, unknown to you that these persons are actually there to talk you down indirectly. There are some motivations, some healing. That's why I tell people all the time, don't be carried away by praises. Some people can praise you into damnation. Yes. Some people can praise you into the pit. There are people that because they praise them, because they heal them, because of applause, they are nowhere to be found today. They are off the stage already. So what we have to do, the number one thing that you need to do is don't wait for motivation. Act first. And motivation will follow. All right? There is a secret for successful people. And successful people may not even tell you this. They don't feel motivated every day. That's the truth. Ask the richest man in the world today. He don't feel motivated every day. Sometimes you need to motivate yourself, encourage yourself in what you are doing. They act their way into motivation. Motivation is not the starting line. It is the result of the movement. All right? That's when motivation comes. When you are successful, everyone wants to identify with you. When you are successful, you are a newsmaker already. Everyone wants to be your friend, but you need to be careful. Choose your friends carefully and don't allow your friends choose you. Because a lot of people may want to be your friend because you are a successful man. A lot of people want to claim to be your motivators. They are the ones motivating you. Guy, I need to be careful. All right? Wedding happens after you begin. Because first of all, you need to believe in what you are doing. The confidence has to be there before you can even do what you are doing correctly. If not, you fidget on stage. He said in his own case, he didn't feel very confident when he first started. He didn't fancy tools, but he showed up. And the more he acted, the more motivated he became. All right? What you need to do is build confidence yourself. And confidence built consistently have a long way to go. Don't be scared. See, sometimes God puts something in you and your environment may not look it. Your size may not even look it. Do you know when somebody is telling you, this one, what can he offer? This one from this village, I knew when this person was born. A lot of people are going to say so many things, but you need to be confident of yourself because you know what you carry on your inside, you know what you are made up of, you know what God told you are going to become. You know what? See, build confidence consistently. Always be confident of yourself. Because action, by the time you begin to put in that action, it creates clarity. When you move, ideas flow. Right? Someone can attest to what I'm saying right now. But when you sit still, fear grows. I want to say that again. When you move, when you take action, ideas flow. That's why some people will tell you, before I even got on stage, well, I didn't even look at my script anymore because I was just flowing, it was because you got on the stage the first time and confidence came unknown to you. That's what it means. Okay? When you move, ideas will begin to flow. When you take that idea, you begin to break it down, an idea begin to flow. When you move, ideas do what? Flow. But when you are still, fear grows on your inside. So even if you don't feel like it, just take one small step today. Send maybe do one or two things that you feel this could actually boost whatever it is you're doing. Stop waiting for the perfect people, because the perfect people may not be those people motivating you. Sometimes you are doing the wrong thing, and some people are saying, wow, but you did well. But you are doing the wrong thing that is about destroying your future. I wonder what happened on social media these days. You see some people misbehaving, some people doing things that will take their lives, that will lead them to condemnation, destruction. And some people are there hailing them. Be careful the kind of comments people make on your post. Some of them are not encouraging. Some of them are there to talk you down. You need to be careful. Build confidence yourself. Believe in yourself. Trust in what you are doing. Trust in yourself. Trust in God first. Yeah, trust in God first, then believe in yourself. That's it. Trust God, then believe in yourself. You will get to your destination, and that is very, very important. So everyone that is clapping for you is not all of them that believe in your dream, but you need to be very, very careful. That's what it is. As people are clapping for you, as people are saying, go on, go on, go on, go on. Hey, you did very well. That thing you are doing, I like that, your lifestyle. Keep it up. Oh. Something that is not good, something that the society frowns at. Some people are encouraging you to be naked on social media. That is disastrous. And the same you is looking for a husband. Tell me, does it match? How does it really feel good? Or you want to, let me just leave it at that. Whatever you're doing today, be careful the kind of people that cheer you up. Be careful of motivation. Be careful of hand clap. Be careful of unnecessary healing. Examine yourself. Test yourself. Check what you are doing. But I want you to know that you need to get on the stage, get on that assignment, get on that job, get on that duty, get on that your job description, and just keep moving on it. Ideas will flow. But if you stay stagnant, I tell you the truth, fear will grow in you and build up, and before you know, a destiny has been killed and destroyed. That's not a portion. That's not a portion at all. You are a mobile success, going somewhere to happen. Don't allow anyone talk you down. Congratulations once again. Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye for now. Was to bring you the newspaper review for today, the 17th day of November 2025, beginning from the Daily Courier this morning. On the Daily Courier, we have this headline which says 5% ticket sale charge hurting airline that's coming from operators. Then we have the big story, which says Nigeria's COP30 delegation sparks fresh political storm. Peter Obi says a delegation reflects misplaced priorities. UN listing shows 749 Nigerian badges at COP30. NDLEA nabbs wanted drug baron uncovers massive drug warehouses across 6 states. Tinubu sends emissary to Plateau over insecurity. Details you can find on page 16. A federal government plans 500 CNG stations to cut petrol use. That's very important. Sometimes I don't use it, but then the way people queue overnight to get this product is so alarming. If we have been promised that this product is going to be available and we have just few stations, selling the CNG, it won't serve us the way it is supposed to. So if 500 CNG stations will be provided by the federal government, it's going to go a long way. All right, Democratic Republic of Congo mine collapse kills at least 32 persons. Nigeria won, Democratic Republic of Congo won. Super Eagles lost would World Cup playoff on penalties. Of course, those are the major headlines from the Daily Courier this morning as we quickly move to the New Telegraph.
All right, thank you, Ramsey. A quick look now at the New Telegraph. A big one here. Well, let's begin with the one just above the name mast. It says, Bill. Federal government targets $210 billion valuation for Nigeria's digital economy. We need to do that beyond paper. Trade. Sanwo-Olu restates commitment to enhancing Lagos's potential. Then beneath the nameplate, top left, it says here, with a picture of the national chairman of the All Progressives Congress. It says mass defections shake plateau politics. It has a rider, but the details are on page 5. What's more, confidence reposed in me won't be taken for granted. Turaki, newly elected national chairman of the People's Democratic Party. Oshomole, federal government's deficit budget delaying release of capital project funds. And then some sporting story here. DR Congo ends Super Eagles World Cup dreams via penalties. So you can read up those details on page 5 as well. Insecurity, McBride writes U.S. Congress seeks removal from proposed sanctions list. Of course, that's headline has a story to it from the U.S. side of it, but then there are 4 riders to that story. You can read them up as well as you find details on pages 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 30. It looks like quite an elaborate read on the New Telegraph today. Controversial rulings. NBA demands financial autonomy for judiciary once election matters resolved before swearing in. Muslim tickets in 2023 emboldened Islamic fundamentalist. Lawal is the one saying that. You can find those details on page 11. You know, the Muslim ticket was very controversial going into the election. One would have thought more than 2 years of this, after more than 2 years of this government coming into place, that issue will be a thing of the past, but it continues to rear its head, and this doesn't look good. UK asylum reforms, refugees to face 20-year waits to settle permanently. Nigerian professor stabbed to death by son in US. That's quite disturbing. Nigerian professor stabbed to death by son in US. Serap to CBN accounts for missing 3 trillion naira of face legal action. Those details are on page 2 for you. And then finally, snake pea can end goat pain, kidney stones. Snake peek and goat pain, kidney stones. That's according to a study, which details you can read up on page 26. This incidentally, as always, is my favorite part of the New Telegraph, the headline that you find on the foot of the paper. All right, you find details for all of these headlines from the New Telegraph to this issue as we turn to our next paper now, and this time it happens to be the Vanguard newspaper.
All right, in the Vanguard newspaper this morning, let's quickly look at the headlines above the nameplate, which says, the rider says economy, the kicker, beg your pardon. Then the story said why Nigerian youths in diaspora are returning home. I think that's been the prayer of the government. Tinubu to appoint ambassadors soon coming from presidency. Electricity workers threaten nationwide shutdown. What's the problem? Email transmission incident, dispute, not abduction. That's coming from Please. UK to allow Nigerians, other foreign students switch to innovator founder visa. All right, then this one's below the nameplate, beginning from the big story, which has a kicker that says, as bank profits rebound to 2.5 trillion naira, manufacturers shun bank loans over high interest rates. That's becoming so alarming. Some riders to that story. The first rider says loan book size drops 20.4%. Finance cost declines 52.8%. Another one says sector delinking from real economy, worrisome trend. This is attributed to Muda Yusuf. Bank's income may fall below expenditure. That's coming from Adore. This is fragile recovery. Egbemode is the one saying that. Those are the riders from the big story. Then this one says convention controversies. As a matter of fact, we just talked about the convention a few minutes ago before we got started, and of course controversy, there must and there may be outcomes from that convention, as a matter of fact, because some people never even expected it was going to hold in the first instance, but now that it has held, can we now say there is a new twist to the whole drama in the People's Democratic Party? The story says how Turaki emerged as PDP national chairman. You say, era of impunity in PDP gone. That's Turaki. To save PDP is to save Nigeria's democracy. This is coming from Olawepo Hashim. All right. Negotiation role, that's the kicker. I led 600 bandits to surrender. That is Gumi. I led 600 bandits to surrender. That is coming from Gumi there. A federal government, sometimes you want to ask question, what's the relationship between these bandits? Do we know these bandits? If we know them, what has been done? Leading them, as it's been said here, to surrender. After surrendering,
600 of them.
600 of them. After surrendering,
what next?
What's next? Are they under surveillance? Are they under check? We've heard that some persons, after claiming to have surrendered and repented, they still went back, gather more information, and still went back. So I think we have people that we can talk to as far as this terrorism case is concerned.
In any case, Ramsey, there's also the concern around this issue of surrendering and all of these amnesty and negotiations, which Sheikh Gumi has been very, very well known for the last couple of years, right? I don't know how much the authorities are working with him, because it seems to know a lot about these bandits and their activities. I mean, he has an insight, he has an access of some sorts to them, right? My curiosity is this. A state like Katsina, for example, has shown that it has a bias in favor of negotiating with these bandits. But you see, the governor of Zamfara State doesn't have that bias. He continues to insist that negotiating with bandits is a wrong move. Incidentally, these are two states in the same region, the same northwest. These are two states that have also been adversely battered, adversely impacted by bandits. So why do we have this divergence in approach? If negotiating with them was the right thing to do, how is it that Zamfara State Governor, who is as much an executive of the state as Governor Diko Rada of the state of the former president, talking about I need to remember the states now. I mean,
former vice president.
No, the former president of the country, talking about the same northwest.
Katsina?
Why? No, yes. Why is the governor of Katsina not also? I mean, why are they not thinking in terms of saying, okay, we're in the same region, we're affected by the same issue, let's deal with this together, form a strong team? Because for a case like this, a problem like this, the stronger you have a front in that environment, the easier it is to deal with them. You can have, for example, let's say states like Delta and Edo have an issue that has to do with road, maybe a road linking both. One would think that the two governors of both states will come out and say, look, this is what we have to do to deal with this problem. I think it should be pretty much the same. For example, there's the issue of kidnapping in Delta and Edo. We have seen how the governments of those states have, in their own ways, tried to say, let's form a common front against this menace of kidnapping, because kidnapping is very prevalent in that part of the country. You can't take it away. So the governors understand that being the chief security officers of these two states, the common sense thing to do is to take the initiative and say, look, let's provide leadership in this direction. I'm saying this to say that we can't continue to skirt around the problem and it continues to fester. Imagine how embarrassing it is for you to say that an army troop has been, if you like, waylaid, as my mom would say, all right? They were ambushed, and a brigadier, we understand, was taken hostage in the process. That's not just about, beyond the lives that have been lost, soldiers killed, which even the authorities have admitted, all right? It is embarrassing. It just shows that there's a lot of work that we are not doing and pretending to be doing. And for a country that pretends to be solving a problem and really not solving it, that country suffers for a very, very long time.
Yeah, and it's a problem. It's a problem. So I think all that needs to be done is collaboration. But even when there is no collaboration between these two governors, then it's still a problem.
It is.
You said, okay, we should give them amnesty. Then the other person said no. Then invariably, these ones that wanted amnesty will now start attacking the other states. That's
trying to force the hand of the government.
That's it. That's the common sense around it. But then let's keep our fingers crossed and see what the government, the authorities will do about it. I think our security apparatus should be aware of all these statements and take action immediately, so that somebody else don't help us take the action that we are supposed to take. Maybe because at the end of the day, it may not go our own way. All right, more headlines are still coming from, of course, the Vanguard newspaper this morning. As a matter of fact, this one says, okay, why North remains backward despite vast talent. Governor Sani is the one saying that. Federal government targets 160 billion naira from wheat production, which would be a good one. Sanwo-Olu's aid, a false move to divert focus from Apapa Tinkan Island port. Those are the headlines from the Vanguard newspaper this morning.
All right, thank you, Ramsey. Let's move you on to next part of call from the Vanguard now. This time is the Daily Monitor. What does this say? Big story for you there. Says, Gumi to critics, I committed no crime engaging bandits. It appears this is syndicated across papers this morning. With two riders, questions the legal basis for calls for his arrests, urges Nigerians to move past emotional reactions, consider practical approaches to ending the crisis. All right. Sarab gives CBN 7 days to account for missing 3 trillion naira of public funds. APC condemns PDP's convention, says it's a carnival of shame, lawlessness. That headline has a picture of Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde. Tinubu sends peace emissary to Plateau to calm nerves. Pay our outstanding 35,000 naira wage award arrears, civil servants urge federal government. You would also find those details on page 5 of the Daily Monitor. Days after face-off with Wike, Lieutenant Yerima escapes assassination attempt. How true is that? Well, you can read up those details
If it's
on the Daily
coming in
Monitor.
the papers, it means due diligence
must have been done, right?
Because I saw it on the Vanguard yesterday on their social media.
Right.
And of course, it's coming out in the Daily Monitor this morning. So something is there. I think the authorities
Must have to look into this. These are not issues you handle with kid gloves, obviously. All right, so let's bring you one more headline from the Daily Monitor this morning before we're done with it. Tinubu engaging traditional rulers to strengthen security governance. That's credited to Speaker Tajuddin Abbas. Those are your headlines from the Daily Monitor. Do want to read up details as Ramsey walks us through headlines from the Nation newspaper this morning.
All right, let's quickly look at the Nation's newspaper and see the headlines that we have. Beginning from above the nameplate, inflation eases for 7th consecutive time. Wow. This is CPI down by 100 points. That's the rider, and we have the picture of the coordinating minister of the economy. DSS nabbs major arms supplier to armed groups. NEL funds disbursements hit 116 billion naira for students' fees and upkeeps. UK permanent resident seekers to wait for 20 years. Right, okay, now the big story, which says Tinubu targets interfaith, inter-ethnic truce in Plateau. One rider to that story, which says Emizri meets Irigwe, Mieti Allah leaders secure breakthrough in Just South farm dispute. And of course, this one says Oshun leads in voter registration. And finally, from the Nation's newspaper this morning, Akande, Ayedatiwa has turned Ondo into industrial hub. And those are the headlines from the Nation's newspaper this morning.
All right, let's get our last paper for you before we're done altogether with this segment of the program. That will be the Daily Trust newspaper. Right, just above, beneath the nameplate top right, DR Congo ends Nigeria's World Cup hope. That's always depressing to read, but what can we do? We've got to move past it. Sokoto government confirms dengue fever outbreak. White bread price remains high despite drop in flour cost. Why exactly is that the case? Well, those details you would find on page 7 of the Daily Trust newspaper today. Bandits kill 3, abduct 64 in Zamfara. Exactly what we were talking about a while ago, right? A coalition will consider all options for 2027 PDP chairman. Nigeria refuses to hand over Bakri to Cameroon. McBain writes American Congress seeks removal from sanctions list. Nigerian man kills father, stabs sisters in US. What must have caused that? Those details are on page 33 of the Daily Trust newspaper today. Do read up details for yourself. And that's what we're leaving it with the papers today, everyone. I would like to say we appreciate you spending your time to look at it with us. We also want to remind you that all of these headlines we bring to you here on the show exactly as published by the respective publishers. Global Television, as a media outfits, and the team on Global Money do not in any way contribute to these headlines. All right, we'll take a quick break. When we return, it will be our first discussion on the road for you. Do stay with us. So since a lot has happened across social media platforms this past week, we thought it is an ideal time for Ogojuku Mobono to bring you some of those highlights on Social Buzz.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
What is your problem? What's your problem? We're on the road to protest.
And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
Hello and welcome to Social Buzz here on Global Morning. Good morning, my viewers, and good morning, the Global Morning crew. I am Ogotko Mobner. It's a beautiful Monday morning, and I'm just going to say, how was your weekend? Yes, the weekend was filled with so much trending issues on the internet. Some were recurring trending issues, but we're just going to pick one for the sake of our time here on Global Morning. So the viral video making rounds right now on social media, it's about parents who rain slaps on teacher for slapping their child who pushed him. All right, in a statement released by the lawyer, that's the parents' lawyer, the parents claimed their child had repeatedly complained of repeated assault from the said teacher. The aggrieved parents claimed the repeated assault had even started taking toll on their child, as he frequently complained of headache and blood vision as a result of the slaps. The parents also claimed other students confirmed the repeated act of assault by the teacher. The parents said they went to the school to seek a resolution only for them to be met with a teacher who was recounting the assault with chilling, nonchalant, and speaking in a manner as if he was right to slap their child. The parents also mentioned that the principal of the school was all about filming them. They stated that it was the teacher's arrogance, justification, and their fierce parental love that forced them to descend on the teacher with slaps. They argued that instead of intervening to restore order, the principal shamelessly continued recording and later uploaded the footage to social media. So that video has actually been making rounds on social media, and so many persons. What we saw first was, questioning from the father to, questioning the teacher, and before you knew it, the father was actually slapping, the mother also continued, and there was the principal who was just filming the whole issue and uploading on social media. Well, we are going to be taking some comments as regards this topic, and the first comment, before we get to call the video for you to see and know if actually the parents were right or the teacher was actually right. So the first comment we're calling today is from She Isarai. And She Isarai said, the school really failed that teacher. Why is the principal even allowing them beat the teacher up like that? Okay. The second comment is coming from Elizabeth Merua, and Merua says, oh my God, parents, this is wrong. No matter what, this is not the way to handle the situation. And this school has failed the teacher. I will resign. This is nonsense. They should have met with the principal. The third, which is the last but not the least, comment is coming from Wonderland. And Wonderland says, this is very serious. Character building is no longer built in schools, and it is very disturbing. That's how he ends his comments. Character building is no longer built in school, and it's really disturbing. Well, I'd like us to say, take a look at the video.
Okay. So after that, I slapped him, and my man was gentle. And he pushed me. You know what made me to slap him again was when he pushed me like an adult. Yes. No, pushing me 2 times, pushing me with his 2 hands. I slapped him. That was what happened.
Because you can't slap him?
Not because I can slap.
Because he can't slap you?
Not because of that.
Then you slap my brother, then you can slap him and go for you. What's that slap you now?
I apologize.
But do you know I can actually slap you now?
Maybe.
For you to slap my boy, do you know that that's to raise my children? Are you stupid?
Mr. Rakundo, I would have also recorded, but I'm not recording, so you
slap my boy!
Leave my Let me beat you. Beat you very much. Stand there and let him beat you. Let him beat you. Let him beat you.
How dare you touch my child? How dare you? How dare you? You can't have to be your public. This is not going to be a memory. It's not a great time you are beating my child. It's not a memory for 2 times. Nonsense. You are telling me what I'm going to see. Today, you are playing with me. You are playing with me. You are playing with me.
All right, we've seen this very disturbing video that has been making rounds on social media, and a lot of comments, have come up. We've also read some of the comments, selected comments, for you today, and I do not know, but it doesn't go that well with me. I think that's the reason why we have the police, if you must ask me. Well, I'm not alone today. In the studio, I have with me Uyi Agbomofwegbe. Good morning, Uyi.
Good morning, Ogochukwu. I hope you had a great weekend.
I wish I did. And you?
Well, I'm good, so back to work.
All right. So I don't know if you've seen this video, but at least I just played it now for you, and we've read through comments and other stories, the story concerning this video. What do you think? What's the take on this particular issue right now? Because for me, like I said earlier, I think they should have left it to the police. But, parents, you are a parent too, so just put yourself in the shoes of these parents.
We seem to have multiple instances of this kind of very embarrassing situation every other year. Virtually all of them coming from private schools. But this one, again, comes closer to home because it's right here in our face in Abuja. Normally you will hear stories like this from places like Lagos and all the rest. But here's what I think about all of this. Parenting, it's very sacrosanct. Parenting is fundamental. Somebody once said, parents should not, by error or omission, all right, outsource their role to teachers. There is a role that parenting must play, that parents must play, and you cannot outsource it to teachers. Teachers have their role. When a child behaves a certain way in school, it's an indication of where they are coming from, how they are being parented, the kind of upbringing that they have or that they are getting is very important. Whether they are being raised by their biological parents, foster parents or grandparents, it is a sign, a clear sign of where they are coming from. There's a way children must carry themselves in school. Yes, we've talked about how that teachers must also be not just human and humane, they must also realize that there's a limit in terms of how you discipline children. And we understand that most of these schools have also adopted what is free, what is fair, and what is also professional in terms of punitive measures, all right, against recalcitrant pupils. However, where a teacher has not overstepped their bounds, for example, and then a parent feels because they love their children so much, because they want to show that they take up, as American would say, they step up for their children. You come to a school and you physically assault a teacher that way. It's a bad standard that has been set. It's a bad precedent, because first of all, this video has gone viral in an age of social media. All right, at least Ogochukwu and I have seen it. All right, so it just shows clearly that there's so much of this kind of thing happening that we are not saying that we're not aware of, because nobody probably recorded, or those videos also didn't get to find their way to the internet. But we expect that the school will do something about this, even if it means legal action against these parents. But before that, get to the root of what exactly had transpired between these people and the teacher, because there's always no smoke without fire. All right, what exactly had happened between this teacher and these people that led, or that occasioned the presence of his or her parents in school, because something must have led to that. And then was it so bad that the man and his wife had to assault, especially the man? The teacher, we have to also look at that. The teacher must be protected, especially where he has not done anything unprofessional, anything unethical. The school owes that teacher protection, because if you can't protect that teacher where he has not overstepped his bounds professionally and ethically, it means that you have opened the floodgates for other teachers to be abused, even in ways that are worse that we have seen right now. And what that does to the image of that school ultimately is that teachers will be reluctant to take up employment in such a school.
All right, thank you so much, Uyi, for your contribution to this day's topic, and I wish we had much time to go, but then it's still Global Morning, and we just have to close the curtain here for Social Buzz. I am Ogochukwu Mobno. Please, I would like you to also drop your thoughts, what you think about this particular issue. It's still ongoing, it's still on ground. They've not gone to court yet if there should be any legal action that will be taken. So please drop your thoughts using the social media handles. It's on YouTube, Global TV NG. Subscribe and drop your thoughts. All right, I am Ogochukwu Mobno, and this is where I leave you today. Global Morning comes up shortly, so please stay with us.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and international.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
What is your problem? What's your problem? We're on the road to protest.
This is Global Morning.
The People's Democratic Party held their convention over the weekend, and so many matters rising from the resolutions. The suspension of the FCT minister, and of course, the secretary, talking about Anyanwu, talk about Fayose, talk about a lot of other people that were actually suspended. Can we now say that the People's Democratic Party can now breathe fresh air? A lot of reactions coming. Well, the people that were suspended, some of them are not agreeing to the suspension yet. But can any other thing be done? Or we can finally say, well, whether legal, because what a lot of people are speculating is at the end of the day, it may end up as a legal tussle. But then we have a legal practitioner who is joining us to talk about this issue. Because most of the things that happen in Nigeria today, even before that convention held, it was from one court injunction to the other, and finally it held, and there have been outcomes from the election, from the convention, I beg your pardon. Now, I have a barrister Peterson Inweze joining us. He is a legal practitioner and a political analyst. It's good to join us, have you today on Global Morning.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here once more.
Well, your appearance this morning is not looking any different from
very well
a politician.
Yes.
You look good. All right.
You know, every human being is a political animal, so we are.
You are representing.
We can't close our eyes to the happenings, political happenings of the of our time and season.
No wonder. Now let's go to Ibadan. Were you surprised when the venue of the convention was first of all moved to Ibadan?
Well,
instead of Abuja, like some persons may speculate.
No. Usually, opposition political parties hold their convention outside Abuja. Usually, to the state that they have a governor that can give them the logistics, that can give them the venue, that can also provide what it takes to hold the convention. It's in line. This is what has been happening.
Okay. Before the convention held, there have been a series of court injunctions. You know, first of all, it was that the convention shouldn't hold. We even heard that the FCT minister in one of the papers was saying before the convention can hold, the People's Democratic Party, maybe the other faction, needs to talk to them. Then another one came again, Lamido, saying, well, the convention should not hold, still from the court. Then another court injunction came, and as it is, the convention held. So with all these twists, what can you say? What's your perspective before the convention even held, before we go into the outcome?
Okay. Before now, we know that before the PDP went into the election, that they were divided, they were polarized. After the Wike lost the presidential ticket of the party, and he struggled to be the running mate, the vice presidential candidate of Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, when he lost the position. Of course, we knew what happened at the time. He didn't even grant PDP's request to use the venue of Port Harcourt to do their presidential election, and what happened at the end of the day. Then leading to the election that he supported APC and all that. And after then, PDP has never had it all good, Sule Lamido complaining that he wanted to acquire form or purchase form, and he was denied. He went to court. Wike's faction complaining. Even this morning, or before now, the Rivers State faction of PDP has rejected the outcome of their national convention. But be that as it may, they have done it, and it's a good that, in fact, somebody was saying that the suspension of Wike, expelling, they call it expulsion, not suspension. So which means that they have rejected him from the political party, is long overdue. So I believe that PDP should, they've realized that they should take their destiny by their hands, and I commend them for that effort.
But as it is right now, do you think all of this is going to go down just like that? The people suspended will fold their arms? Because in one of the papers this morning, some of them are already ranting.
Yes, the most important thing is that there is what they call regularity in law. When somebody that is in position takes an action or perform a duty, the law takes it as to be regular until it is set aside by the court of law. The people, there's never a time that you have a convention of party that everybody, or institution of political party, that everybody will come out and say we are happy with it. So I'm happy that they have taken their destiny by their hand. We need opposition to strive. And we have seen what happened, Wike threatening PDP to revoke the PDP national headquarters and all that. So that, and even all these utterances, that alone amounts to anti-party activities. But I strongly commend PDP by taking the bold decision at this time, despite that it's coming late. But any time that you start is a good time anyway.
All right, any time that they start is a good time. But as it is right now, okay, let's look at the People's Democratic Party. Can we say the battle is now over? The tussle is now over? Because, you know, that's the opposition party that Nigerians were looking up to after being in office for 16 years. But looking at what is happening now, can we say they have now settled down to actually give APC a run for their money?
Yes, my position is that they've taken a right step by having a leadership, because we appreciate the fact that everything rises and falls on the leadership. So if PDP can put their ass together, and you know they have, I think, 8 governors. So if they can come together and you know, present a common front, it will be good for Nigerians. They've gotten leadership, and whoever that is, of course, there is a court order giving them mandate. And also remember that Federal High Court and the State High Court, they have concurrent jurisdiction. And what politicians do is that when this one give, they'll go to the other side and give. They'll tell that they want to obey this one. And also you look at section 82 of electoral act that talks about INEC. It says INEC may monitor the convention of political parties. It's not shall. So INEC may choose to be in your convention or may choose not to be there. But the fundamental thing is to give INEC notice of 21 days, which I'm very sure that PDP gives that notice to the INEC. So INEC being in convention venue or not is immaterial. And of course, earlier Supreme Court decision this year has also made it abundantly clear that the issues of political leadership or political parties are within the internal mechanism of the parties, that the judiciary cannot intervene. So it's a very clear. In fact, PDP, before they went to their national convention, there was a committee set up, and the committee advised them that they should go on with the convention. Hence, PDP went on to do the convention, and I believe that the convention, as it stands now, even this morning, the convention stands. No court has declared that convention null and void.
But do you see them going to court?
Yes, people will always go to court. Now, in fact, one of the social media, unverified social media, where Wike said that all of them will suffer. You know? so you know, so he's his own position. Okay, so how would they suffer when you on your own, you have been, you know, dealing with the party? We saw what happened in Rivers State local government election where APC won everything, and this is unusual. You see a sitting governor or a state that is you know, dominantly occupied or dominantly, you know, predominantly by a PDP or a political party, only for another political party to spring up and take all the positions. So it's a welcome development, that we commend PDP for that right step in right direction. They cannot continue to wait for distraction. They cannot continue to do all these things that they are doing. So it's
you talked about the People's Democratic Party having 8 governors right now.
Yes.
In the Nation's newspaper of this morning, we saw that. In fact, in one of the papers, they said PDP governors split over expulsion of Wike, Fauci, Anyanwu, and others. Do we see, are you thinking that we may still have more defection of PDP governors to the All Progressive Congress? Because it has been a massive exodus. They even said some of them will return back to the People's Democratic Party. So what's your perspective as it has to do with probably some may still leave and some may return, looking at this expulsion? Because the only thing they said was the problem why they were leaving is because they felt there was trouble in the People's Democratic Party.
Okay, you can also recall that I think last month, Federal High Court sacked one House of Reps member that defected from PDP to APC and ordered him to refund all the money that he collected after the defection. So there is no political division in PDP. What we have is people, you know, having not agreed or not, you know, in alliance with a particular leadership. So it's everywhere. Anywhere you have leadership, there must be people that are opposed to that leader. There are people that will be supporting or being supportive of that leader. So there is no problem with PDP. The court has heard the latest constitution of the Federal High Court, one legislator from Adamawa. The court held that there was no division That is the Federal High Court. And the lawmaker was sacked last month, less than 1 month ago. Sacked and ordered to be the money to be refunded. So for someone to say that there's a division in PDP, the person is not being truthful to himself. And what are you talking about division? They have had their convention and it has gone on. Then some governors saying that we are not in agreement, that it was one of the reasons was that it wasn't decided or discussed at the PDP Governors Forum. And I also want to say that PDP Governors Forum is not the highest body of the party. The National Convention of the party is the highest decision and making body of the political party. So it's not the Governors Forum. Governors Forum is just an arm that, of a group of persons. You can also have legislators forum of PDP. They can also come up to tell you that they don't. But National Convention is the highest making body, just like where you have a General Assembly in organization. So the highest making body has expelled these people. The only thing that they need to do is either to go to court or they will now join the APC that they have been, hobnobbing with.
Okay.
Very well.
But Wike said he's going to tell Nigerians the party that he belongs to later. But then he said he is a card-carrying member of the People's Democratic Party. Now, this is an expulsion as...
No, for now, it's not a
suspension.
It's expulsion. It was expelled, not suspension, expelled.
Okay, it's expulsion.
Yes. So, when you just like you are rusticated from the university, when you are rusticated, you are no longer a member of that university. It's expelled, not a suspension.
So, what were they waiting for all this while?
That's what I'm telling you, that maybe he has been... of course, remember that Wike was boasted that he has all the PDP governors that he bought their farm, he supported them, he helped them, he financed them and all that. So maybe, they say he that pays the piper, he takes the tune. Maybe they were condoning him, but now, of course, the masses, has taken the bull by the horn and said, no, this cannot continue. So that's what, maybe that was what lingered them to, or maybe they have not mustered the courage. Maybe now they have gotten the courage, mustered the courage to take the bull by the horn.
Though you say the absence of INEC doesn't matter. What
yes,
about
Section 82.
Absence of Kefas, absence of Saraki, the absence of the likes of Fubara. What does that mean?
You should have said, what of absence of me? Assuming that I'm a member of political party. It's just like every other member. They have one vote now. They have one vote. These people that you mentioned have one vote each. They are not even leaders of PDP. They are not occupying any position in PDP.
They are just members.
They are just members.
Is a governor.
A governor is a member of the party. You may say he's a leader of the party in a state. It's quote and unquote. There's no law that says that governor is a leader of a political party in a state.
But that's what it is.
He doesn't occupy any position in PDP. That's my position.
But as a governor of Rivers State, is he not the leader of the party in Rivers State?
Yes, that's what I'm telling you, that PDP can do even without Rivers State. You understand? PDP can do without. If you check,
are you trying to tell me that Fubara may defect soon? Is that what?
That is his personal. Of course, he's right if he so desire. But what I'm telling you is that our President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, did not win all the states. Okay,
including Lagos,
even FCT. So does it mean that he is not a president of that? Is of course FCT is among the one of the federating unit. So you mustn't win all the states. You mustn't be everywhere.
But then, with all of this, what would you say about the People's Democratic Party as far as 2027 is concerned? Some Nigerians have already written them off.
No, this is a right step in right direction. It now behoves on the new leadership to take a positive step and also do things that can win membership, do things that can attract people to their political parties. Of course, the 2023 election has opened our eyes. That is not even a function of a political party. I could remember before now that there was a saying then that elections are not one individual, there is one on the structure. And we also saw what happened is, to the structure in 2023. So now we know that even the president of France, Macron, he doesn't belong to any political party. He won as an independent candidature. or independent candidate.
How did he now contest?
As independent candidate.
Just independent?
Yes, it doesn't belong to any political party.
Did you see that ever happening in Nigeria?
Yes, but we clamored for it. You understand? We clamored for it before now. It didn't sell at the last amendment of Electoral Act. But I believe that in this subsequent amendment, that there will be a provision for independent candidature. Because remember that these political parties are hijacked by the cabals and all that. And at a time, the Nigerians will not have option. It will not just be two unjust positions. But with the advent of obedient and people know that even a Okada rider, even a taxi man can win election.
Yeah, I without think Okada man won in.
Very well. So forget about all these things that they are saying. The most important thing is that now there is no any provision for independent candidature. Use any political party. Okay, look at FCT now. Election. Of course, opposition has always won FCT. Yes. ABGA won in Gwagwalada some time ago. PDP is in Buhari Area Council, and I think PDP is in AMAG too. So what are we talking about? It depends on the candidate, and we are calling on Nigerians for everybody to come out and perform these civic responsibilities. When people come out, okay, look at what happened in Anambra. Rigging can only take place when people conspired and maybe were docile. But when people come out, how can you rig? You can't rig. Where will
was
you
there no rigging in Anambra?
There wasn't. That was a reflection. Governor that won all the local government. He won all the local, including the APC candidate local government. He won. The governor won.
But they said there was vote buying. There was an accusation of vote buying.
That's another issue. But I'm telling you that out of 300 and something was, he just lost only 6 was.
So is that a true representation of what democracy is about?
Yes, what we are saying, for a governor that is an opposition that people have seen working, contested with a lesser known or popular candidate, and he won. People will buy into it. Unlike seeing an unpopular candidate coming up because you are of APC or from PDP and you win election, when people know that you are not better than the person that they prefer. So,
but there is this speculation that there is a solidarity vote and support in Anambra State, which has been an ABGA state for a very long time because of the late Odomegu Ojukwu, and everyone is supporting ABGA. ABGA take preeminence in Anambra State. So winning is just like the ruling party in the state won, not national ruling party.
We know that who controls INEC? Is it not the federal? Who controls the police?
Are you trying to say INEC is in charge of the election and they can make it go in favor of anybody they want?
That is what we'll be seeing now. That is why people are saying voter party. People are saying after voting, you see somebody that it doesn't, it's not a popular candidate that we didn't vote for. Seeing him, imagine.
And you believe in that?
It has happened before now. We are in Nigeria. It has happened. It has happened. Rigging everywhere. But we thank God that people are standing by their vote.
But we have a new INEC chairman.
Yes.
What do you think? What's the perception of him? We're talking about a senior advocate.
The governor commended him. He said, "This is your first assignment."
So what were you expecting?
Well, he has done well. He's a professor.
So you expected the governor not to commend him even though he has won?
No, what I'm saying is that it would have been worse. I could remember there was a time that Adams Oshomole was contesting an election. Governor, either his return second tenure or whatever. He said that Babu will roast. He started shouting during the election. You know that kind of a thing. Failure of INEC. And he said if anything happened to our vote and all that hell will let loose. Okay, so what we are saying is that the report of that we got from Anambra, both the IRF, both the accreditation, everything went on smoothly, and we are calling on the INEC that if you can do that in Anambra, use this runoff election and solidify so that during our election, general election, the election result will be transmitted electronically. We'll be seeing it. In fact, I'm even calling on INEC that they should, all this money that they are voting for them, when you do electronic voting, all this security army floating everywhere, you don't need them. People can vote with their smartphone. In NBA, people that monitors NBA election, they don't need up to they need less than 10 policemen. Because everything is done electronically. Are you coming to carry the computer? If you carry it now, another computer is on the internet. So you don't need, unlike during the collation in the state, you see the barracks will not even be quantified to what we used to see in INEC headquarters. Let this thing be done electronically, open the portal, make it 2 days. If somebody can put money in the bank and withdraw it wherever you want to withdraw, and it will not be over withdrawal or under withdrawal, how much more a country, an individual can run a bank and run it very well, and the branch will be everywhere in the country, and it will be working and serving 24 hours. Why not go electronically? Those villages that cannot have you don't have access to
internet, some can't even operate it.
Yes, make provision, get your gadget, get it set up there, then have somebody that can INEC official that will be there. They will be using the thumbprint to print. Accredit the person can vote.
How much belief do you have in Amopitan before we bring this discussion to a close? Because there was vote buying, civil society organizations attested to it. Finally, now, all right. As it is, we'll go on a quick break. After this break, we'll return and we'll bring this first discussion to a close.